11th of the season as Bristol City overcame a determined Stockport side. City are now up to 6th.
Ahead of today's games. Brentford took the lead in the 63rd minute when on-loan Millwall striker Ben May rose unchallenged to head in. The suspect marking won't have pleased the manager too much. Enter super sub Leroy Lita, who had an immediate impact on the game. The first City have won on a Boxing Day for 14 years. This time it was City who caught the home defence napping with a quickly taken corner, and the resulting cross was headed in by Lita. Lita has a habit of scoring important late goals for City. Remember that cracker against Port Vale last season. And this was to be just the start of a great ending to the game. The last time City won on Boxing Day, they went on to earn promotion back in 1989. And with back-to-back wins over Christmas, they're getting themselves into an ideal position this season. The 3 points were earned with 8 minutes to go. Peacock set up Wiltshire, whose shot was parried for Lita to finish with a simple tap-in. An excellent travelling support loved every minute away from the sails. City were denied for 40 minutes by the brilliance of the Bournemouth keeper Neil Moss, and it took something special to beat him. Lee Peacock is seemingly back to his best with his 12th goal of the season. Aaron Brown also had an excellent game and topped his performance off with a goal which owed as much to endeavour as enterprise, but gave City their third successive win to carry them up to third in the
scorer
table.
Paul Heffernan with a groin strain, and also had to do without Simon Jenkins and Colin Platt, who both left the struggling club this week. City left new boy Mark Goodfellow on the bench, and Danny Wilson decided to give Marvin Brown his first start in over a year, in place of the suspended Christian Roberts on the right. With Aussie Luke Wiltshire on under-23 international duty, Brian Tinian was past fit to start his 500th game for the club. Commentary at Meadow Lane comes from Jed Pittman.
Well, the side with a chance so far, 9 minutes into the game. This is Hill, but too close to Steve Mildenhall. Still keeping his place ahead of the number 2 goalkeeper Sean Deeney. Neither played in the 5-0 defeat on the opening day of the season. Phillips with the clearance. And Peacock got in well and scores beautifully. It's his 13th goal of the season. It might have been route one, but it's perfection as far as City are concerned. 10 minutes into the game and they have the lead. A long punt forward from Steve Phillips. One bounce, and there was Lee Peacock to hammer it home. And City lead by 1-0. Nicholson clears up to Stallard. Brough was dispossessed, unfairly according to the referee. Here's Stallard, good control from him, surely offside, not given, and a great chance! And it was Nicky Fenton who somehow put it right across the face of goal. Not his best chance to equalise, their best chance of the game so far. Here's another chance from that long clearance forward, and Peacock is in. Just stumbled at the wrong moment there, Lee Peacock. But that Route 1 football is certainly working for Bristol City this afternoon. Free kick to the home team. They are desperate for a spark, trying to ignite the game a little bit. It has been absolutely nothing from either side for the last 20 minutes or so as Kasky curls it in. Awful free kick. Here's Barras. Chance for a run from Bolland. He's got players in the centre. Can he find them? He can! 1-1. The cross to the right did it. I think it probably went in off Butler in the end. Corner kick, Tinian couldn't keep it in. And suddenly there's something of a sea change here at Meadow Lane. County without really creating anything at all. Got the pressure in as now the ball bobbling inside the area. Brough appear to handball, not given by the referee. This is Barras. Now Stallard. Riley. Ball into the centre and not far away at all. That's a good move from Notts County. Probably the best of the afternoon, to be fair to them. And Ian Richardson was on the end of the header. And not very far away at all. Confidence growing in the Notts County side at the moment as we approach the end of the first half. And that a foul by Butler. Still trying to get over the woes of quite unbelievable own goal, really. Talk of the half-time interval. Diving header. Here's Kasky. And cleared by Carey. Perhaps didn't need to put it behind for a corner. Slight misunderstanding. County starting the second half, the slightly brighter of the two sides as Kasky takes the corner, too close to Phillips, who punches. Chance for a shot in, and should have been on target, really. Paul Bolland with the effort. And City about to make a substitution and bring on their new signing. And it's Marvin Brown who's going to come off, a rather surprise selection perhaps. He's had less first-team football probably than Mark Goodfellow, but the new signing gets a good cheer from the visiting support. Hackworth tries to turn. Here's a great chance. Brilliant save by Phillips, denying Stallard what looked a certain goal. That's really good work by City's number one. Barras trying to feed the ball forward. It's gone out of play, has it? No. Brown has kept it in play, and County have stopped just for a second. And Brown has got a great chance to set it up. Oh, what a wonderful chance for Goodfellow. The script had been written for him. Laid up on a plate for the new signing. And all he could do was blaze it over the top of the crossbar with the goal really gaping. Space now for Goodfellow. Chance for him to really run the defender, show what he can do. Gets the shot in too, and that's a good save from Milton Hall. I think the former Swinner keeper had positioned himself for the cross and wasn't really expecting the shot from Goodfellow. In the end, it was a pretty good save. Peacock. Finding Carey, getting further and further at the pitch as the game goes on. This is Goodfellow. Certainly had quite an influence on the game since he came on. Cross comes in, chance maybe for Tinian. Now Lita, now Doherty. Well, he doesn't score many goals, the Bristol City captain. That fell very, very invitingly for him. Final minute, plus whatever stoppage time is added on. There shouldn't be too much of that, really. Here is Goodfellow. Free kick in a great position. Here is a real opportunity for Bristol City in the final minute of the game. 3 minutes injury time has just been posted. And City have this free kick. What a crucial moment this could be. Well saved by Mildenhall. Comes back for Tinian. Here's a chance too. 2-1. It's headed in by Goodfellow on his debut for Bristol City. And in the first minute of injury time, he's surely given City the 3 points. Mildenhall could only parry the initial free kick, and when the ball came back in, Goodfellow was there first with a header. And what a dream start
to extend their winning run to 5 matches, and included new signing Mark Goodfellow for his full debut at Ashton Gate. Danny Coles had recovered from flu to take his usual place in the centre of defence. Chesterfield, who've never won against City in Bristol, gave on loan Leeds midfielder Jamie McMaster his first start, alongside another loanee, Darren Niven of Bolton. Your commentator is Nigel Turner.
O'Hare hits it high and not very clear. Taken down by Innes. A long ball by Niven. And it could drop nicely here for Chesterfield, and Phillips forced into his first real save of the game. Bristol City giving a little bit too much room as that shot came in from Mark Innes. Tinian. And Hill once more. City playing very deep in their own territory. Miller. Tinian takes it on beautifully. Just delays the pass for some more support. It drops in, and Blatherwick read it well at the expense of a corner, because Brown and Goodfellow were waiting in the box for that one from Tinian. So corner to City. 5 men in the box to aim for. Doherty hangs it under the bar. Goalkeeper struggling, Muggleton. Cleared off the line, and a parry, and how did Peacock put that over the bar? Well, that was amazing. Everything seemed to stand still as Muggleton missed the initial effort. He then pulled off a good block, and then the ball dropped to Peacock. What, a couple of yards out, no more? And he leant back and put it over the roof of the stand. Amazing. Blatherwick and Peacock, quite a tussle building up there. Doherty to Brown. Now City have a bit of space in which to move. Taken on by Hill. And into Miller! Flags up, won't count. The flag actually was up a couple of seconds before the ball dropped onto Lee Miller's head. But still, best move of the game so far from City. Chesterfield keeping up the pressure on Bristol City. Peacock, now Goodfellow in some space. Peacock was fell, but Goodfellow's going all the way into the box. Nobody ready to pull it back to. And Ullenbeek with an outrageous slice over his own bar. City didn't get enough men up in support though. And it shouldn't have been Ullenbeek who got there, it should have been a player in red. As it is, it's a corner to Bristol City. As we approach half-time, just a couple of minutes left. Muggleton comes, gets a fist to it. Doherty! He's scored! Tommy Doherty. He doesn't score very often, but he's on target this time, the Northern Ireland international. And Bristol City lead 1-0. First goal of the season for Tommy Doherty. And Chesterfield has struggled with the corners all afternoon long. This time from the right flank. Muggleton with a fist to it, and Doherty steering it back through a crowd to put City in front just before the break. Tinian. Goodfellow again. And back to Tinian again. And threads it to Aaron Brown. And gets his shot away, and good parry by the goalkeeper. Good vision by Tinian as well to find Aaron Brown in that position, and it breaks down with a free kick. City have already learnt if they hit it out wide to the right, the chances are Goodfellow will be there. Inside to Tinian once more. Encouraging for Bristol City that Goodfellow's making an impression on the right. And this time it's through to Mickey Bell. He'll hit it. And just a fist from Muggleton. Didn't know that much about it. Lita. Goodfellow retrieves. Doherty. Carey. And Peacock. Tinian. And there it is. Leroy Lita gets the goal that makes it 3 for the season and ends Chesterfield's stubborn resistance. Time seemed to stand still as the ball came in from the right-hand side, but at least the Chesterfield defenders did, and Lita just threaded it inside that post to make it City 2, Chesterfield 0, and 3 points in the bag for the Ashton Gate team. Tinian's corner then, out by Robinson. Tinian with another chance to cross it back in. In fact, plays it beautifully back. And there is number 3. Lewis Carey smashes it in. And a game that was in the balance for such a long time is now tipped entirely Bristol City's way. And they lead by 3 goals to 0. Neatly done by Tinian, actually. He just pulled the ball back outside him to Carey, and that shot found the corner of the net. 3-0. Carey with the throw, and those 2 swift goals had a remarkable effect on the crowd. Half the small Chesterfield contingent got up and left. And now Bristol City fans are beginning to make their way to the exits as well, knowing that the points are safe and in the bag. But now it could be a 4th, you never know. And all the way through, here is number 4, surely. It is. Mark Goodfellow gets a goal on his home debut to match the one on his away bow last Saturday. And Chesterfield have fallen apart. Bristol City making hay while the sun isn't shining. 4-0 they lead, and that was a simple
ahead of Bristol City. Danny Wilson described this as his team's toughest test of the campaign against a Hartlepool side keen to extend their record of just 1 home league defeat in 16 months. Avian Williams spurned one of Pool's best first-half chances, but after the turnaround things changed, and Jim Probert was suddenly the busier keeper in the home goal. And 10 minutes into the second half, he was a beaten keeper, as Lee Peacock celebrated becoming a father for the first time with his 14th goal of the campaign to put City in front. Hartlepool's rare reverse at Victoria Park came against Barnsley on Boxing Day, and their playoff challenge couldn't afford another one. Mark Tinkler duly squared things up 20 minutes from time. The last word went to a son of the North East with a goal he described as one of the best of his career. And as this was the 661st professional game for Brian Tinian, that's quite a claim.
He moved to within 2 points of second place QPR. A strong run by Lee Miller helped set up the only goal of the game, which arrived on the stroke of half-time. Mark Goodfellow finished emphatically. His 3rd goal in 4 games has City fans hoping that by Saturday night their team might be in the automatic promotion places. Colchester, who drew at Coventry 3 days earlier in the FA Cup, managed just 1 shot on goal. They've also got a suspension to deal with following a red card for Craig Fagan. His reckless challenge earned a second yellow, but it'll be OK for Saturday's league game with Tranmere.
Bristol City were ahead after just 4 minutes. Aaron Brown's cross met by Lee Miller. The team who had won their last 7 league fixtures couldn't dominate in the way they would have wished, and Brentford grabbed a late equaliser through Eddie Hutchinson. "1-1 wouldn't do for Bristol City though, and manager Danny Wilson said later that he was delighted by his team's determination to win for an impressive 8th successive time. Just 2 minutes from the end, the pressure paid off when Matt Hill headed in. Brentford had to commit to attack, and Bristol City were able to get another goal in stoppage time. This one scored by substitute Leroy Lita.
City's hands, though they were under considerable pressure at London Road, but Mark Arbor still hasn't scored since September. And another win for Danny Wilson's side, their 9th in a row, was secured when club captain Tom Docherty came off the bench and promptly netted only his 2nd this term. Wilson and his team just can't do anything wrong right now.
City, they arrived at Blundell Park on the back of 9 league wins in a row and took the lead through Lee Miller. After a win in their first match in charge of Grimsby, caretaker bosses Graham Rodger and Neil Woods have been asked to carry on for the foreseeable future, and they were given hope when Isaiah Ranking was brought down by Matthew Hill. City protested. Hill took the ball. Ian Anderson converted from the spot to equalise. City hit the woodwork 3 times, but they did get the goal that made it 10 wins out of 10 and sent them to the top of Division 2. 3 minutes from the end, Aaron Brown, the goal-scoring hero. Manager Danny Wilson believes the hard work starts now for his table-topping side.
Remarkable run has seen them jump to the top of the table. Now it was their turn to lead from the front. Danny Wilson, unsurprisingly, made no change to the side that went to the summit at Grimsby on Tuesday. Wrexham had won more games away from home than any other in the division, so should have been a tough nut to crack, particularly with the experience of Dibble, Carey, Ferguson and ex-Tottenham man Chris Armstrong running through the spine of their team. Commentary on this game comes from Tim Capel.
He got winning it in the air. There's going to be a free kick. Quickly taken again, and Brown is away this time. Wilkshire's waiting in the centre, and they were nearly caught out by the speed and precision of that counter-attack. Quick thinking then. It almost paid dividend. Butler. By Peacock again, lots of hassling going on in there. Docherty in there as well. 11 is Tinian. Brown beginning to make a run on the overlap. This is Hill in possession. Inside, brilliant ball fired Aaron Brown. Brown's great ball, 1-0. What a start! Absolutely stunning stuff. And Bristol City have a lead, and Luke Wilshere was in on that near post in the move just a moment ago. What a good ball that was from Matthew Hill. Right through the inside channel. Roberts didn't know whether to go left or right. Carey had no room to cover for anybody at the back, and Luke Wilshere again. Miller. Tinian. To give himself an angle, but then again Peacock is in there again, making life really uncomfortable for Carey. 19 is Coles. Over the top of Lawrence once again. Lawrence has missed it again, and that was all of about half a metre wide. Well, the nightmare continues for Lawrence. Every time the ball's come near him, he's made a mistake. Hill again. Just couldn't bring it under control, Miller. Peacock's scampering down there. Brian Carey is over to cover. Carey doesn't do particularly well. He gives it back to Miller. Miller's cracked there, and that wasn't too far over either. Once again, another chance born out of a Wrexham error. Just not good enough in possession at the back. Wiltshire comes across the line. Will pick up possession just here. Wiltshire waiting for Carey to go on the overlap. Peacock's in the centre in the penalty area. It's going to be a real race here. Peacock gets away. Can he turn? He does. But he can't direct it into the goal. But again, another sweeping move built with precision passing. Butler comes forward again. Peacock, Miller, Butler in there with Coles on the back post. Coles, a real mix in there at the moment. This is all four of them. Harry can pick up this. Here he is, Carey. Just needs a little side step that from Carey. Now Brown is free here. Brown, good save. Dibble anywhere other than straight at him, and that would have been a goal. It really should have been a goal as well. Great approach play there from Lewis Carey. Llewellyn is 11. In a good position, Llewellyn, if they can get the ball to him. Edwards holding on to it. Llewellyn misses it. Still might fall here. Whitley. Lawrence, everybody inside the Bristol City half. Lawrence, got to be careful of him, he is dangerous. Good play, Lawrence. Now this is Hector Sam. Sam, they need to get a strike on target. Sam, great attempt. Well, perhaps went a little awry at the end, but good passage of play for Wrexham. There's Ferguson dropping deeper to try and pick up those balls and make those passes. Brown. Now on Edwards, and Edwards, that is very light, and Peacock is there, and if anybody really deserved anything from that, he did. He's chased every single cause for the entire 66 minutes of this game. His work off the ball has been outstanding today, Peacock. Doherty just goes crashing in. Lawrence. This is Edwards. Corner kick. Roberts is on the back post. Hector Sam is there. Carey is coming in. It's cleared Carey. Might fall for Roberts. To Roberts, drives it. That cleared everybody. Just bent away from Phillips's right-hand post at the last minute, about 1.5 meters wide. But a chance all the same. A reminder, they need to remain defensively tight. I'd be surprised there didn't actually have been anybody on the edge of the penalty area defending that, Bristol City. Just a lot of Doherty there. Armstrong. Good play, Lewis Carey. Now Llewellyn is in space here. Llewellyn, Armstrong in front of him. Given away to Luke Wiltshire. He's got Leiter and Peacock to aim at. Only Brown have been over there. Brown's making his way inside the channel now. He's gone, drifted back outside. This is Wiltshire. He can get Hill. Nice little dummy that from Brown. Picks up Hill this time. Peacock. Leiter's there. Peacock's there. And it's out. And again, another moment in time that Bristol City will look back at when they should have extended the lead here.